Greetings, panelists, and all my respected audiences. I'm glad that I could be here to speak with you. Glad to meet you, and I'm very grateful for your precious time that you have given me to listen to and watch my project. So, we are talking about population here. So basically, India has overpopulation. So India has stress that um, that there is excessive population, how the resources are there are resource shortages, and on the counterpart there is Japan, which has diminishing population. So which means they should be happy, right? Because India wants less population so that they can be there can be plenty of resources. So Japan has plenty of resources, isn't it? So they should be happy, I guess. But actually, that is not the case. So, in both sides of in both extremities, the happiness is not there, because obviously here if there is overpopulation, natural resources are reused. But if in the other case where there is population shortage, then there are reduced human resources. Then who will use those natural resources and make it good for the society? There are less people. So yeah. Can we balance it? I don't think so, because the most two important factors which basically balance the population is natality and mortality, which is birth rate and death rate. So you cannot increase death rate, right? That is totally immoral and in many ways unethical. And you cannot reduce birth rate, because it should be an individual choice. Everyone has a right to pass on their genes, just carry on their generations. And also we need them, because we need gene varieties so that we have complementary skills to help each other, right? That is very necessary stuff. So what should we actually do? There is some gap in this, maybe. So it is the utilization of the population. If you have more human resources, trade it for natural resources, or use it for your good, whichever you have more, to compensate the other, right? It is just like skills. If you have one less skill, compensate it with other, being master at it, isn't it? It's like that. So basically, this has basically three paths: logistic population growth curve, which has natality, mortality, immigration, emigration, all of that stuff. I didn't consider immigration because obviously you are not immigrating from Earth and immigrating in Earth. This is still pending dream by Elon Musk. I guess it will take time to do that, emigrating out of Earth to Mars and just living there, colonizing Mars. That will take time. So till then, I don't want to consider immigration and immigration. So till then, we are good with natality and mortality rates. So that is the most important population growth marker, and there are others too, like age and literacy. I covered it in one, and population density. While population density is not that big of a important factor, but it plays a role. When population density is much more balanced, Population density means the amount of people living in a per square kilometer in a particular area. So if that is not balanced, which means many land area is not utilized, and some land area are over exhausted, so it is not good allocation of resources, so it is wastage of potential, so it is not healthy for the growth of population, right? And there are two types of logistic growths, population growth curve. That is, one is exponential and other is logistic. So exponential growth curve has unlimited resources, only depends on your rate of reproduction, which means how many offsprings you give at once, or how frequently you give offsprings. So it only depends on that. Then it is a J-shaped graph, because it is not gonna be stagnant anytime. You will always see a growth in population, but in real life we have resource limitation, which is logistic population growth curve, which is a sigmoid curve. It goes stagnant after over exhaustion of resources, and we fight for limited resources and we balance the population. So there is now with reproductive rate. Now there is another factor to be considered, which is carrying capacity. Carrying capacity means the resource in area. So how many population or how many people it can sustain, it can how many people can survive in that area, for how many people that area can feed. So that is how many resources it can, how much people for how much people the area can provide resources, how many people it can carry. That is the carrying capacity. So there is carrying capacity also now consider. So yeah, that's all. Now there is also age pyramid. Age pyramid and literacy rate. Literacy rate means so healthcare is better if there is higher literacy rate. And what do you learn in means education, obviously survival skills. So people are more literate, they can survive more, they can thrive more, isn't it? And there is more human resources. So, and age, the age factor depends directly relates to the population growth. A bell-shaped age pyramid means population can increase because there are less senior citizens and there are more kids or juveniles and moderate working population. So there are more children, those children will grow up, and those and also there is a gender ratio too. That is also important, because equality of genders will produce more offsprings, because you need both of those gametes. If one gamete is increasing and other other gamete is not present, then obviously there will be no offspring. The one gamete which is very much, it is just getting wasted in terms of gamete or in terms of offspring and population. Obviously, as a human, everyone is useful, sorry. So I'm saying in that sense. So yeah, when juveniles are more, then they will grow up and they will produce more and more offsprings. So but if so natality rate is more, and the people who are gonna decease from the earth, unalive from the earth, are comparatively less, which is the senior citizens portion. So yeah, so there is growth in population, it shows. And if it is inverted pyramid or urn shape, then the population may be like, the population may decrease because the senior citizens are more, so there is more mortality rate. The people who are unaliving are more, and so it is going in negative number, the population is going in negative graph. But the people who are gonna produce the future offspring generations are less, so they are gonna produce less offsprings. And maybe there is this trend shows that people have individualist mindset, means that is good actually, but every coin has two sides. So when you are individualist, you are ambitious, you grow, you develop, but obviously you prefer to be alone. Reduce relationships, you get it what I'm saying, right? And when you are in group, you see yourself as a part of the community. You always try to lift each other up, but don't go aggressive on for your own path, right? There is also a gray space between them, but you know what I'm saying, right? So yeah. And if the working population is more, and also when it is a decreasing population, so there would be less working population to feed the senior citizens, so that can be a trouble, right? And when there are if there are more juveniles, then it is hard to feed them because resources are very limited, isn't it? So age thing, I hope you understand, right, how it is correlated. So it can my software checks out all the stuff, that what is the graph result, what is the density result, what is age pyramid result, and takes that and considers that, and it then gives suggestions how to utilize it. So there are three layers of nested if else. First layer, either the population is increasing or decreasing, right? And then comes, let me show you, just wait a second, yeah, right, where is that? Let's go. So is it population is increasing or decreasing? Then the second layer is, if it is what is the solution of increasing or decreasing, right? If it is means mostly balancing or utilizing, right? If the population is increasing, then you have to either reduce the population, if the let's first check out about decreasing. If the population is decreasing, then you want to sustain the population. You don't want more population, you are happy with that population, but you don't also want to go extinct, right? So you have to maintain that population because you want to enjoy the natural resources, right? And some space and shelter. So yeah, you want to sustain it, or you can just increase it or spread it. So increase and spread has a slight different meaning. Spread means increasing the people with your ideology, not your biological your biological identity isn't spreading, but your ideological identity you are spreading. Your culture, your style, your ideas, morals, ethics, those are spreading. Your rules, mannerisms, those are spreading. But in increase, your biological population you want to increase, you want to balance it out, isn't it? So yeah. And let's talk about the increasing one, right? So if your population is increasing, you want to adjust with that population, you want to sustain it, you don't want to reduce population, it is okayish, then okay. Just you want to make that growth stagnant, you want to stop that growth, but don't want to reduce it. Okay, you want human resources, that's good. So you want to sustain that population, or you want to reduce, that means balance. You want to enjoy more natural resources and compromise with the human resources. You can do that, or you can utilize your population, utilize the human resources you have, right? But mostly I would say you can trade your resources, human resources, natural resources. There would be friendship ties, alliances, that would be much good, isn't it? But still, let's see. Let me just and then the third nested layer comes, which is good or evil. So in good ways, totally ethical, moral, goods, okay suggestions, formal suggestions are there, which you can implement to strategize your population as per your need, your customized need. So yeah, but there is evil mode. I designed this, and definitely I made it before Grok came, but it talks like Grok. Okay, I wanted to make a AR, means solution software, which suggesting software which talks like a human. You know, he has no filters. He doesn't follow the formality. He is more. He feels more personal connect to you, right? He feels like talking like a human. So I just added my most insane ideas I could have imagined. So this is totally for fun, or just exploring the possibilities, ideas. These ideas are not for implementing, totally not. It is a totally bad idea to follow these. Please don't do it. Most of it are unethical, immoral, and might be bad, totally bad, okay? Please, that is insane. You don't have to do that, okay? They are just for exploring possibilities. Come on. So maybe I should explain these, but I don't know. Maybe let me check what I should do. What I should explain, right? Improve healthcare, hygiene conditions, right? So that the people you have, at least they should survive. They don't have diseases, and they don't disease from the earth, or unalive from the earth, right? So yeah, if you want to sustain your populations, right? Working conditions and safety measures. So if working conditions are bad, mental health will have a toll, and obviously mental health is also important for survival. And safety measures, obviously, if there is risk in work and you're not taking precautions, then you will lose population. That's there's no other way around it, right? You need common laws. There is no discrimination, I would say, so that all can grow together, help each other, and rise. Maintain gender ratio, as I said. Literacy rate, important. Survival skills, and jobs, definitely. Career, earning bread, so that's important. And gender ratio, who will give offsprings, is if there are equal number of both gametes, they will give more amount of offsprings. If one is less, offsprings will reduce, because obviously a single gamete cannot produce offsprings. Two gametes are needed. So yeah, allocate barren lands for industries to improve population density, right? Make equally developed develop all areas equally so that no area is wasted. Barren lands can be industries, good lands can be used for cultivation, right? So that every potential is utilized, every resource is utilized to its peak, isn't it? So yeah, now we move to the evil mode. Okay, favor your people by reservation. So these are totally bad idea. I'm telling you, please don't do this. Okay, only for exploring possibilities and just having fun. Okay, favor your people by reservations. These are mostly controversial. Okay, this is not that bad, but this can be controversial because reservation is a very controversial topic. It makes inequality, but that inequality is made to bring equality. Sometimes things are already unbalanced, and you, for balancing it, you have to reverse balance it, right? If someone is oppressed, then you gave them reservations, then they rise, they come into mainstream, they equalize with others, and it is a good cause, right? So yeah, but there can be other way where already where it is used for oppressing, right? Already oppressed people oppressing more, that can also be the stuff. So it has two sides. So this is controversial. I won't say this is exactly bad, right? Yeah. And free shelter, this is totally controversial. Obviously it is a good stuff, you're giving stuff to people many can't afford, but there is also the side of it. Motivation, obviously you give resource. When someone works, then they get motivated from that reward to work more and bring productive results to the world, because when you give, you take, you get stuff, right? That's how world is. But if you are giving something free, then it is being lost from someone, at least in the world, because energy neither gets created nor destroyed. It can only be transformed and transferred, maybe. So like that, money or anything doesn't get created or destroyed magically, it just transforms and transforms, right? Allowing polygamy, obviously not a good idea, because obviously allowing polygamy will sustain the population, because hyper hyper fertile individual whose potential is getting wasted, if their counterpart can't don't have that much fertility, or can't do means can't produce offspring to the full potential as the other, so potential gets wasted. So many average people and single hyper fertile individual can do that, but it totally doesn't make sense, because humans are not a machine. Humans have emotions, and emotions aren't don't form like that. Emotions, connections, they don't form like that. It becomes messy when stuff like this happens. And obviously you are if you are giving excess partners to one, then you are also snatching away partners from others, so they can't, you are taking their chances of taking their genes forward. So that is also a case. And women and child work from home means that it can, how it can help is that when children are so children are most vulnerable, so if they go out they are in trouble. If they are in home, mostly safe, can't say, but mostly safe, lesser risk. You know, trouble don't give a signal, and when they come they don't give a signal. So obviously it can, trouble can be in home too, but lesser risk, less chances. And you can increase automation so that humans have saved their energy, and they don't have to work, they can outsource their work to these automated robots or something. And they can grow in other aspects, grow in population, grow in creativity, grow in higher productive stuff, higher work or population. Both can be done. You can what you can say, yeah, okay, you can promote, yeah, you can promote to produce more child by government schemes. Obviously it would be lucrative for producing more child, if because they are getting more hands at bread earning. So it would be lucrative when government also is coming at help, so people will be motivated to produce more child, right? And artificial water and food source, artificial water and food source is there obviously to cater more demands. So if we make artificial water and food source, what I'm saying water source, because now there are some certain nanobots, I guess, which can make hydrogen, which can add hydrogens and oxygen in the air to make water or something. And food source, obviously HYVs are there already from the start, and fertilizers and all, and genetically modified fruits and vegetables also. So obviously they are harmful for the health, but better for survival, better for sustaining, because they cater to the shortage. They produce more benefit. They produce more yield, right? Deform landforms for construction. Obviously, landforms. You can take that landform and expand land to where there are no livable land, and that land itself will also become livable because its altitude has reduced. High altitude is not good for, you don't get more oxygen, it is not stable to build a shelter on it, and other problems. You have to climb or something to reach there too. So there will be less population fit to survive there, many won't be able to survive. So yeah, so you would get, since you are not using resources, so you are not polluting much, then you may have a much colder temperature. So to get heat, you can deforest. Obviously this is a bad idea, but come on, we are just exploring possibilities, right? So if you deforest, then wild animal will reduce, then lesser threats, lesser competition for food, and basically you won't become a food of a wild animal. Obviously, this is totally a bad idea. Come on, every life has a right to live, mostly. Until they are cooperative and living, until they coexist. Or else, obviously, competition has its downsides. An eye for an eye makes the world blind. So, yeah, in competition, both have losses. And what do we have here? Okay, if you want to increase the population, then promote good nutritious food so that more people survive and they have higher fertility, because bad I mean chemical foods have effect on fertility, and also they can become fit for survival with more physical strength and mental capabilities with organic nutritious food, good food, good health, I would say. And this is good mode, obviously good mode for increasing population, right? And obviously socialize people more so that people meet each other and connections form, and then after connections offsprings form, and that can be done in online contact too, so that the entry barrier is reduced. They don't have to put efforts, so when things become effortless, you are more motivated to do that, isn't it? Let me give an example. uh, Books are boring to read, because for getting a small tiny bit of information you have to rummage through the whole book, read it, understand it, burst your brains out. Still you get a little information that you don't know if you will forget, because there is no visual and audio representation of it. But in a phone with easy accessibility, with one scroll you get a large amounts of information in less time, introduced by the short form content. So it is easily accessible, so it is more motivating, because you get more information doses that who catered for your preferences, so it is more accessible, and you get a loads of information without any headache. That too with colorful visuals and audio, pleasant audio. So obviously you are more attracted to phones. So like that you can reduce the barriers to connection, so that people meet, and chances of offsprings are more, and reduce job competition, because competition reduces population, basically creates fights, and in a fight both teams get hurt. Yeah, that thing. And give dignity to and maternity leaves to women, so that they are more encouraged to take the pain to produce offspring, so that they can be motivated to handle the pain of producing an offspring. And yeah, and make people open-minded to accept all aspects of people from all aspects of society, so that they get complementary skills, complementary survival adaptations, which makes them more stronger, their offspring more stronger to survive. And maybe their first some have much some would have much more fertility, so that would also help, and like that. So yeah, it's better. But in evil mode, glorify love, but that has really very bad downsides. People would stop building their careers, stop working, because things like these are already lucrative, they are already attractive. You don't need to say to promote to people to get attracted, but if you start promoting, then people would go crazy for it, and the the stuff that is much more harder to do but are better for the society will be left behind. So productivity reduced, work reduced, and these stuff increase, then obviously there is no productive outcome of it. Then no work, no one, what will you eat? So that's the stuff. Reduce consequence of living relationships, that has some downsides. Obviously there can be STD diseases if you do that stuff. Consequence of live-in relationships, and also there would be no connection, and obviously that will take a toll on mental health and self-control, and your spiritual health. So yeah, and you can reduce marriage age, because in less the less aged you are uh, after your puberty, you have much better fertility. Fertility reduces with age, I guess. Yeah, because time makes you old, and the more old you are, the more close you are to senescence period, which is end of your fertility. So yeah, fertility reduces with age, so reduce the marriage age if you want to increase the population. But that's a bad idea, because people are not matured then, and they take wrong decisions, and it shouldn't be called even decisions. And mostly then careers will be on a uh, less priority, so people will keep career aside, throw it back, and just push in marriage stuff. So yeah, use anime to fantasize and whatever. You understand it, right? And it is mostly there, I guess. Some countries maybe use it. And also I wanted to mention that some countries do that reservation stuff. Their origin people, they give some benefits, but other don't get even nationality. I think so. I'm not sure about it, so I was not thinking to tell it, but I'm just now telling it as a random, not checked fact. No, I can't say it a fact. A view, opinion, I guess. A thing that I have heard, but don't remember clearly. And this use of anime, I think it is there in some countries to fantasize stuff for producing offsprings, so that they learn about most of the things, but that can be harmful a little, right? You know how it is harmful. Childhood is the building stage of life, and the only thing you have to think then is studying, growing, nurturing yourself, learning the mysteries of world, being curious. These stuff do harm them, you know. because these can turn addictive. And then if you want to spread your population in a good way, then market your culture, invest in infrastructure so that people come to visit or come for tourism, to just roam around and interact with the locals, learn the culture, market your culture, increase your soft power. I think so. It happens in South Korea, right? K-pop, I guess, marketing the culture. They spread their culture like that by showing their culture, showing their art. Art is the best stuff that can influence your culture to others. It means sharing culture can be done by art, because it shows your culture in a good exaggerated way, a little exaggerated, I would say, because most art has exaggeration, humor, exaggeration, out of proportion exaggeration rather. And but that exaggeration brings you relatability, so you connect with that culture with your common points. And there is also, you know, music has exaggeration to make you feel good about that culture, about anything. So that exaggeration is subtle, not much, but enough to say that it is an exaggeration. Invest in infrastructure for tourism so that they come, they feel good, have good experience, and are willing to come again and again, and they love your ideas, you know, love your ideas and your culture overall. And promote businesses to attract best talents. If you have more business opportunities, more money to feed people, people will come for more opportunities. And best people come, they will interact with your people, and they will produce best offsprings. We are almost genetic engineering here. We are doing hybridization. Promote citizenship by marriage. Right. So, citizenship by marriage, then people would love to, if they would love your city, then if they want to get citizenship, then obviously your people's gene and their people's gene, they if they are fertile individuals, or better in any way, if they can add up to your adaptability skills, then obviously your genes will mix with their gene and produce a better gene, but it will be still your gene going further, isn't it? Yeah. And in you know in evil mode, allow immigration by forced conversion. So if someone comes, you convert them, so obviously they are following your rules, your ideology, you spread the culture, but that is forced, which is against, or it is violating the right of practicing their own ideas. You are just imposing your culture over their culture. There can be nuances on this. So mostly evil mode have controversial topics of with multiple nuances. So please don't take me seriously on these topics. I'm just exploring ideas, just for saying for fun. Don't take this seriously. If you are offended, I am sorry, really. And yeah, compulsory education and compulsory teaching self-defense so that they can defend themselves, and compulsory education obviously to learn your culture ideas, your discoveries. So yeah, you have spreaded your ideals in the world. Now when you have increasing population, then if else statement, right? Nested ifs. Yeah. If you have more population, you have more human resources, so what do? You utilize them, you reduce them to balance, you utilize them to full potential, so that, you know, if you utilize them, then it is not a waste of potential. So they are a resource rather than problem, right? Liabilities become assets. Or sustain the population, you want to balance the population, just want to keep them surviving, your wish. So if you want to sustain, then if your desired action is to sustain, then in good mode, then grow wheat, as it can grow in most areas, and it is a carb rich resource which can be carbs can be stored, they give instant energy, so yeah, they are easy to digest, best stuff ever for survival. Proteins are hard to digest, can't be stored much easily. If they are more, they get toxic, so yeah, and they can grow in any temperature, I guess. And you can use more HIV crops, so that there is no shortage of crops, and you can use pest resistant crop, either genetically engineered, or you add pesticides. Pesticides are bad, so you can add biopesticides, which are biological creatures acting as pesticides, eating pests, unwanted stuff, they eat the unwanted stuff, right? Or you can just make them unattractive to pests. The crop, you can make the crop unattractive pest to the pests, so yeah, pest resistant crops, so more yield, crops survive, so you can get more energy for survival, save resources with 3 R's, more resources, more security to survive in future. Use eco-friendly disposal of waste like composting. Okay, so your waste are not wasted because more people, more waste, but that waste will create trouble if they are treated as waste. But if they are treated as a stuff that you can use for good, then it will reduce the wastage, and rather it would increase your resources which are useful. So it is a double benefit stuff, isn't it? So introduce forest and wildlife, because the food web keeps the population in check. There is hierarchy of, eaters, predators and prey, so they keep in check each other's population. More the population, they can be discovered more, they can be eaten more, predators increase, and if the prey decreases, then predators don't get food, they reduce, they keep each other in balance, competing each other. So yeah, replenish natural resources. Obviously you get more natural resources, and also it promotes wildlife, so your population is reduced. Promote sci-fi shows and books to encourage hustle culture. Hustle culture will reduce your energy for other offspring to take the responsibility of an offspring. It will drain your energy for that, but it will it will utilize your human resources to full potential, giving productive outcomes, right? Earning bread, earning money, earning the green dollar bills. isn't it? And the evil mode, obviously, conquer lands, so that you can sustain. If the population is more, you want to reduce the density, want more natural resources, then conquer the other lands, take their resources, take their land area, put your people, density reduced, crowd reduced. But that's totally unethical. Come on. The every culture has the right to live. So every culture means every culture has something to give to the world. And if I want to talk in a narrow utilitarian way, but in a broad utilitarian way, obviously every culture worked hard for the survival. So what they build, they get it. So let the culture get what they have built. Don't trouble others who worked for their culture to survive better. Don't trouble them, right? So there are many sides to it. Feed GMOs. GMOs will reduce fertility, but will reduce food shortage. You would get good amount of food to survive, good energy. But obviously, reduce fertility. Teach the science of producing offsprings as its real science, to teach its real emotion, responsibilities, not exploit it, right? Do it for the real cause, so that every time they think of that process, they reduce doing it, so that it looks, they take more responsibility and reduce it, right? Means they feel they know the real fact, how much responsibility raising offspring is, and they don't produce much more offspring. Okay. And this stuff is really weird. Reduce pension to reduce government costs, because obviously more the population, more the government costs. But the people who are gonna decease, you can shift the focus on them who are gonna be the future. But it is totally immoral and doesn't make sense, because who raised you, you cannot just ignore them. Everyone is equally important. Everyone is living thing. Until they are living, you have to give them the best life, isn't it? So the people who raised you now are in a trouble, so they raised you for that, to help them in the pain, right? So can't do that. Limited number of child, okay stuff, done in most places, but it is not totally bad, totally good. It is in a gray side, because you can't say, it should be a personal choice, individual's choice. You can't just dictate how many child you can do, but obviously that should be a limited. It is ideal to have a limited number, very less number child, because the less the number of child, the more resources and more affection they give. So reduce purifying water, most important stuff in life. But if you reduce it, there are two stuff that happen at once. First, your cost reduces. You can use it in other survival or things, or invest in education, which can help the population grow, but help the population to develop. But if you reduce and also if you reduce purifying water, then population comes down. The population is kept on check. It is controlled, because only the fit will survive. Who can survive, who can tolerate that water? But the right to live, it will be violated. Right to a good life, it is totally painful to do that. You would be insane to do that, for real. And make others selfish and individualistic, so that there is no community growth. Everyone thinks about themselves, compete, compete each other, and come in each other ways, harming each other. Yeah. So that happens. That will reduce your population, but that's a bad idea. Community growth is needed. And also it validates the right to happy life. And also it can reverse and come to you. Increase arms but not defense. Arms, if more, means if firepower is more, it can be more vulnerable to get uncontrolled and spark a great war or fight, and you have no defense, so you can't defend it. So population reduced. But a bad idea to risk people who are feeding you, but you just ruin stuff for them. Right to live. So yeah, that gets violated again. So if you want to utilize in a good way, so you can just export human resources, right? They bring their foreign money, and your ties become good because you have soft power, your culture is spreading, and also your population crowd is getting reduced, so your land area doesn't have to carry more people than it can. So yeah, and you would get their if you get in a trade, then you will also get the natural resource. Double good, full profit. And yeah, also you can assign good division of labor for right talents, so that obviously you utilize the talent and you actually use the population to grow, not rather as a liability that you don't see them eating up resources, rather building up resources. And in an evil mode, obviously run science or data experiments on people, which is really bad. Right to privacy, right to life is totally harmed. Have some empathy, okay? Don't do that. But obviously, if hypothetically you did that, then you will reduce your population, and also you will learn technology, and you would get to study with that data. But obviously, what is the use of it if it is immorally built? Come on, have some empathy. Introduce slavery, that will utilize resource. If a guy has more work, then he can outsource or distribute the work. So they give productive outcomes. And but come on, humans have freedom, humans have emotions. You have to understand that you can't do that. But as an idea, hypothetical idea, yeah, it will increase productivity and maybe reduce population, because it's tough to survive that. And make immigration difficult, so that people don't enter your area. And immigration adds population. No immigration, no addition of population. So, and if you are making that immigration difficult, then only best fitted, selected, best individuals come to your area and maybe settle here and mix their genes here and produce the best offsprings with your genes, isn't it? So yeah, make immigration difficult. Enhance artificial bionic humans. Obviously this is you know, this is evil mode, so you can make clones. That is to increase the population, but you can enhance the human by adding artificial parts to them so that they can enhance their powers or skills. But that totally doesn't make sense. It will reduce the concept of humanity from them. Adding artificial bionic stuff to humans obviously reduces the concept of humanity and reduces the creativity, the emotions which make us human, which is actually a power, which can be a weakness but can be a power at the right time. And those controlled power are much better, so which come at right time and hidden other times. So that emotion power is a very useful power, which is reduced by artificializing humans, and obviously there are also side effects, so this is not obviously a good idea. And also there should be freedom how a person should be. Making cyborgs is definitely not a good idea, but you can explore it, right? Or you can just reduce your population. In good mode, use barriers from stop the gametes from matching, combining, whatever. So the population is reduced. No zygote, no population. Invest more in education, healthcare, so that when people are more educated, they have higher ambitions, less focus on population, offspring production. So much more healthcare, better healthcare. People know precautions, and they survive better. No precaution of every stuff. So stricter marriage and extending marriage age will reduce the chances of offspring, because till then the fertility would be low. And create foundations so that there would be limit the zones of marriage, the area of marriage boundaries, so that there would be internal recombinations, internal marriages with similar genes. At the end, they exhaust and they become bad genes, not survivable, and population reduce. Uh, choose best by increasing competition. So it has double benefits. You increasing competition, it reduces population by fighting each other, harming each other, but the individual which are left are best, and if they produce offspring, they are the best offspring. Then that's also stuff. Glorify being single is free life, happy life, so that there are less offspring making. And CDOMs are may not be best at they may not be best barriers, but are safest with privacy. Means don't need anyone else, you can use it yourself, and they are safest from STD diseases, and they have no side effects. Pills can induce hormonal problems, imbalance. IUTs need doctor, so and they can be painful too. So, and also they are not private. You need another person to use it. Vasectomy is irreversible, so you lose chance for offspring forever, no coming back. In evil mode, the craziest stuff. Engage in war, because in that only normal people get hurt. So your population reduced. Start gen stuff, so that a certain complementary skill or an important component of society gets reduced in a foolishness. You just start harming a section of society, then they are gone, so their complementary skill is gone. Then that skill will be having shortage in the other part of the society, so they won't be able to survive, so most of the population reduced. Crazy. Spread a pandemic, so that can just disease, and people will disease, unalive, and tolerate some civil violences. People within you harm each other, give extra heavy workload, mental issues, take a toll on their lifestyle and life, promote risky jobs that can reduce the population, right? The less precaution, more risky job can be troublesome to the population, so it can reduce it. But obviously they are bad. Come on, promoting risky job are bad, because right to live, no hygiene or safety. So safety is needed for well balance of rules are needed for well balance of every other people's comfort, so that all can live together and grow together. And hygiene helps to eradicate diseases, and supporting illegal immigration can reduce their population, but obviously trouble other community who worked hard to control the population, and when enjoying that, it is troubled. So they have both sides. the other side can be that they are also trying to survive, so they want to reduce their crowd, so they are emigrating. Mostly it should be individual's choice, because they have skill, they want the opportunity. If they want to work, they want something for it, so they should be getting this, they should be able to choose where they want to go, and anywhere they go, obviously the both parties benefit. So that's all. Thank you guys for your time. It was fun to talk to y'all. See you next time. So it was made in a perspective that a government entity or country regulating entity is reading it to get suggestions, and its target customer is government bodies, but my app tries to be little funny, little sarcastic, crack some jokes, and obviously I can there are some evil mode ideas which are little weird, so we can regulate that later to make it good. And you know but it should feel the personal connect, right? When someone is interacting with it, it should give suggestions with fun jokes, right? So most of the evil mode ideas are jokes, obviously not to follow. And there is another feature I think you can add in it, which is suggestion feature. I have added it for namesake, because it can't store your suggestions. So it should work as a community suggestion stuff, that they can give some suggestion to add in an app for when interacting, what new answers it can give, what are new solutions to new problems, so it can tell about that. This software can just store another this software should store suggestions if it is connected by SQL. So if there is someone who can connect this with MySQL to store suggestions, then that's very good. You should try it. And also it needs HTML front end, because this terminal execution can be a little tough for, or a little boring for it can create some friction for the target client. They would be a little bored from it, so yeah, we can regulate that. And thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Bye.